dedicated to the grind and dedicated to you. That's why we do what we do. This is Power Grind Sports. This is what's hot in the world of sports. And right now in this episode, we're going to talk about RyanGarcia and what is next for RyanGarcia. It's so much controversy, so I gotta talk about it. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. This is what we're gonna talk about. Okay, so RyanGarcia, he just had this great win over Devin the Dream Haney. Initially, it was great, but now there's a gigantic asterisk by that win because he badly missed weight. RyanGarcia missed weight by 3.2 pounds. And that's crazy because that's like he was just not even trying or trying to be a welterweight. And then things got even more complicated because it was just announced that RyanGarcia has failed 2 drug tests. Did you hear what I said? The day before and the day of the fight, RyanGarcia had drugs in his system. Now, I was like, what? How is that possible? So he has 2 performance enhancement drugs. One of them is called Ostarine, and the other one is Nonstradrone or something like that. Now, if I mispronounce these drugs, then hey, I am not trying to. However, I'm not a drug specialist and I don't know who names these drugs, but whoever names these drugs, man, they make it where you got to be a spelling bee champion to know how to say and pronounce these drugs. Do you understand what I'm saying? But anyway, it's been confirmed in the A sample that, hey, man, this guy got 2 different drugs in his system. Okay, the day before the fight and the day of the fight. Okay, so then the situation, I'm going to say, caused a significant confusion for so many people because Garcia's win is almost certain to be overturned. Now, of course, our memories can't be overturned. So the outrage within the combat sports community is understandable. Now, Haney will once again be officially an undefeated fighter, but fans saw Garcia destroy Haney, dropped him 3 times, and saw him get a majority decision. So it's not looking good for RyanGarcia. Now, there's so many questions about the future for both Devin the Dream Haney and RyanGarcia, and you know, I'm going to talk about them because, man, this guy failed 2 drug tests. That means that at some point in time, it's just the A sample. So at some point in time, these drugs was in his system. Think about that right there. So now I'm on social media. People are saying, hey, maybe there should be a rematch. Now, there are so many reasons for a rematch because guess what? RyanGarcia and Devin Haney, they will make a crazy amount of money if they do a rematch. But when they asked RyanGarcia was he going to do a rematch, he shot down the idea. He was like, look, man, I won fair and square. I beat him. It ain't no reason to do a rematch. And then the news broke the internet to show that he had 2 drugs in his system, PEDs, and that he had failed those drug tests. He failed 2 different drug tests. You got what I'm saying now? Like I said, you know, before that news had broke, RyanGarcia, he was on a victory lap. He was like, yeah, I beat him. But then when that news hit, he stopped celebrating. You got what I'm saying? He just stopped celebrating. And I can say that it's easy to see why Devin the Dream Haney and his camp want nothing to do with a rematch on their side. Because this is what I want you to think about. Garcia had almost all of the boxing world and combat sports world food because his behavior ahead of the fight was so crazy. He was acting acting all crazy, and people were saying, hey, you need to get a mental evaluation, etc., right? And then he didn't bother to make weight like true professionals. He was treating boxing like it was a joke. And then after the fight, after he won, he was bragging about the weight advantage. Even the day that he didn't make weight, he was bragging about having a weight advantage. And he was like, look, I'm gonna feel stronger. He even got on Twitter and was like, look, why would I even drain myself? I'm gonna be stronger. I'm gonna win. And then when you sprinkle in the failed drug test, why in the world would Devin the Dream Haney want to subject himself to a situation where a guy is a cheater and has consistently cheated, didn't make weight, failed different drug tests, multiple drug tests? So why would he want to put himself in another round? He already had to deal with all of this craziness, right? Now, Devin the Dream Haney, he got on ESPN, right? And he was like, look, man, I'm not interested in a rematch. You feel what I'm saying? He was like, the build up to the fight was very interesting. And we seen Ryan Garcia's character. We seen that this guy will cheat. We see the type of person he is. And he was like, I don't see myself ever getting back in the ring with him, but I'm a fighter. So, you never know what the future holds, right? So then, even though I know we're talking about Ryan Garcia, this is what I want you to think about. I'm thinking about what's next for Ryan Garcia, but what is next for Devin the Dream Haney? Because he's still the WBC junior welterweight champion. And the title wasn't on the line because Garcia missed weight. So Haney still has a good deal of, I'm gonna say, leverage if he's moving forward. Now Garcia, he has shown the world that he is not a 140 pounder. You got what I'm saying? Because his last two fights, he did not make 140 pounds. So he is not a 140 pounder. So now Devin the Dream Haney, who's still a champion at 140, there are other champions at 140 as well. You got Subriel Matias. I think he's the IBF champion. Teofimo Lopez, he's the WBO champion. And Isaac Pitbull Cruz moved up and became the the WBA champion. You got what I'm saying? Now, from looking at Ryan Garcia fighting Devin Haney, Subriel Matias looks like it looks like a very, very horrible conflict for Devin the Dream Haney, especially since he had those issues with Ryan Garcia. But mind you, Ryan Garcia was full of performance enhancement drugs, according to the test. You got what I'm saying? Now, I think that Devin the Dream Haney would fare good against Teofimo Lopez. But one thing I can say about Teofimo Lopez, he's had a lot of meltdowns. And so, who knows about him? We don't know about his dependability as well. But if he fought Pitbull Cruz, I think that Haney would have a good chance to get that victory. So I think for Teofimo Lopez and Pitbull Cruz, I think Devin the Dream Haney could take those guys out. But Subriel Matias, man, IBF champion, man, it seemed like it would really, really, really be difficult to him. And the loss to Garcia was just, man, it looked very, very crazy. And of course, more than likely, if they confirm that Garcia failed these drug tests with his B sample, then the fights will be overturned for Devin the Dream Haney. It will turn into a no contest. But it's like, dude, why are you failing drug tests? You got what I'm saying? Like, why are you failing drug tests? Now, the bad thing about Devin the Dream Haney, he fell on the pound for pound list, all because he lost to Ryan Garcia, who was, had all these PEDs in his system. But he's still a champion, and he is still massively talented. You got what I'm saying? And he's still in the top 3 of the 140-pound division. So I don't know what Devin the Dream Haney and his team are gonna do. But hey, it is what it is. So back to the focus, which is RyanGarcia. Okay, so now RyanGarcia, he has to request a B sample to be tested and confirmed by the VADA findings. Now, a lot of people don't understand this whole process. It seems as if, especially because I'm on social media, it seems as if people have not had drug tests before. It seems like most people have never been in a position where they had to get a drug test done. So let me try to explain to you some things. So look, like I said, Garcia, he can request a B sample to be tested by VADA. And generally, there's a A sample and there's a B sample. And most of the times they return with the same findings because they don't just draw one tube of blood from you or get one sample of urine and just use that one sample of urine. No, they split that up. You got what I'm saying? So, like I said, most of the times, almost 99.9% of the times, the A sample and the B sample return with the same findings. But RyanGarcia does not. He has a lot of different types of options. You got what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because one of the drugs from my research online, of course, Google University, you know, I'm an 8th grade dropout, Ostarine has been frequently linked to contaminated substances like supplements and stuff like that. So sometimes a little bit, I guess, sprinkles of Ostarine is in some type of supplements. So it's possible, even honestly, it's possible that RyanGarcia could have consumed some type of contaminated supplement and did not knowingly use Ostarine. Now, if that happened, then the fight would still be ruled a no contest, but Garcia could see less punishment as a result if that failed drug test can be linked to a contaminated supplement. You got what I'm saying? Because one of the things that RyanGarcia did when he first found out that he got tested, that he popped hot for a ped, is that he went on social media and he was looking at a bottle of ashwagandha and he was like, "Look, ashwagandha, they're saying that you caused this ped." I was like, "What, man? You need to treat this stuff like it's serious because people die. Look, boxing is something serious. You play basketball, you play baseball, but you cannot play boxing. People die. So it's crazy that somebody as popular as RyanGarcia is in front of the world and making fun of something that is very serious, which is a contaminated blood sample. You got what I'm saying? Like, look, man, if you got performance enhancement drugs in your system, this is not okay. Now, VADA did also state that RyanGarcia tested positive for norandrostrine. Now, I don't really know what that is. It is a steroid. You got what I'm saying? And they confirmed a positive that, you know, he had a different steroid, norandrostrine or whatever you call it. Now, like I said, if I pronounce it incorrectly, don't be angry at me. But look, this dude had 2 different types of steroids in his system. So as far as RyanGarcia's career in the ring, I don't even know what's next. You got what I'm saying? Because part of that comes down to knowing the level of suspension that Garcia is going to end up facing for these failed drug tests. And you know, boxing is a sport and it consistently changes over and over and over. So if RyanGarcia is out of the sport for 1 year or 2 years, then who knows what's going to happen. But I tell you this, after beating Devin the Dream Haney, Garcia said there is no way that he can make 140 pounds. But that also seemed like he wanted to move to 147. But when they got asked about that, Oscar De La Hoya and Ryan Garcia and Ryan Garcia's dad was like, no, 144-ish. I'm like, what? There's no 144-ish weight division. There's 140, and then you go up to 147. What? No, we can fight around 144-ish. Like, what? I've never seen that ever in the sport of boxing, but they just said that. You got what I'm saying? And I will say that if you are the A side, you can kind of create demands to meet at a catch weight. You got what I'm saying? And it seems as if Ryan Garcia used this example, used Devin the Dream Haney to put himself in a position where he don't have to fight at 140 and make that weight, and he don't have to fight at 147 to make that weight. Because if you fight at 147, then guess what? It's a lot of hard-hitting people at 147. You got real killers up there. So he don't want to be with those guys up there at 147, and he can't, he don't want to make the weight of 140 because then he'll feel weak, he'll feel drained. And that's the reason why he did not make the weight on purpose. You know, now I do consider that cheating, but some people right now on social media, they're like, oh, that's not cheating. That's not cheating. I'm like, man, I thought that was cheating, but hey, you know, if you think that is not cheating, hey, I'm not going to argue with you. You got what I'm saying? But I tell you this speaks to something about Ryan Garcia that's becoming clear. He don't really care about being a world champion. He don't care about getting respect. He don't care about dealing with the politics of dealing with the WBA, the IBF, WBO, etc., WBC. He don't want to deal with the politics of these sanctioning bodies. You got what I'm saying? And I say that because he didn't even bother to make weight. You know, it's just like that was his only chance, the biggest chance of his life for a chance to a world title. And he said that he wanted to get that world title. And then he intentionally did not. It's like he lured Devin the Dream Haney into focusing on trying to make the weight. And he was saying, and Ryan Garcia was saying that he was going to make the weight. And then right when he did not make the weight, he bragged on Twitter and said that he had no intentions of making the weight. Now listen, my coach always told me that when you are boxing, whatever the division that you're boxing in, you have to walk through the lake of fire. The lake of fire is that process of making weight. So once you're training and you're cutting weight and you're walking through that lake of fire, and then the day that you make weight, that's when you have successfully walked through the lake of fire. So you're supposed to walk through that lake of fire to make weight. So yes, you're gonna feel drained. Yes, you're gonna be dehydrated. Yes, you're gonna feel irritable. Yes, you're gonna feel angry. Yes, you're gonna feel unbalanced. But every fighter has to go through that. And that's been like that for 50, 60 years. Everybody has to, you have to make that weight. Weight classes and divisions are created for a specific purpose. And you can't cheat that system. And if you cheat that system, then you are cheating the sport of boxing. So I don't know what's going on with Ryan Garcia or what's next for Ryan Garcia. Let me know in the comment section. What do you think Ryan Garcia would do? I just don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if he's going to be penalized by these sanctioning bodies. I don't know if he's going to be penalized by the New York Athletic Commission because he didn't make the weight purposely. And then he used two different types of performance enhancement drugs. What if he had a hit Devin the Dream Haney, and then Devin the Dream Haney was never the same again? Because boxing is very dangerous. All combat sports. That's how dangerous it is. So we got to think about that. This is Power Grind Boxing. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend about Power Grind Boxing. Hey, we out of here. Stay on the grind.